entire career has led up to this exact moment.
LIV Golf lands in Indiana, and from the golf course to downtown investment, Westfield is seeing green. We're teeing it up with Mayor Scott Willis as the international spotlight shines on one of Indiana's fastest-growing cities. In Northeast Indiana, there's no place like Dome. Details on how Trine University is pumping up its investment in sports and student athletes.
We're here in a sterile space at Riley Hospital where some Hoosiers with disabilities are suiting up for the job market. We'll tell you about it coming up in the Business of Health.
Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gerry Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and LIUNA.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick, coming to you this week from the heart of downtown Westfield, what will be the new center of downtown Westfield. For those of you watching around the state of Indiana, Westfield is in Hamilton County, about 20 miles north of Indianapolis. It was once a sleepy country town that is now on the move. Proof of that growth and momentum here at Grand Junction Plaza, which opened several years ago and is now seeing substantial development to the tune of more than $250 million. And Westfield continues in the sports spotlight, fueled largely by Grand Park, the 400-acre plus development that is a center for youth and professional sports. The Indianapolis Colts are just now wrapping up Colts Camp at Grand Park, and this weekend, the international sports spotlight is at the club at Chatham Hills.
Bubba Watson was cruising the course last night. So.
The stars of golf are descending upon the club at Chatham Hills. And after nearly a year of work, including $3 million in course enhancements, it's game time.
This is what this state does, right? We welcome people from all over the world. We love sports, and we have a great community that knows how to embrace it, knows how to work it, knows how to run it. And I think this is just another amazing event that is with international appeal that we've brought to Central Indiana. And I'm excited for them to see, what a sports town this is.
For Westfield, it's a coming out party of sorts for a city that sees sports as an economic driver. Just a 5-iron away from LIV Golf, the 400-acre Grand Park is one of the largest youth and professional sports facilities of its kind in the country.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Hell of a setup, huh?
Yeah.
And just wrapped up hosting Colts Training Camp.
It is amazing. Every year you come out here in this setup, it's just incredible, isn't it?
Not a better place in America.
No, it's so good.
Ed Carpenter Racing has just announced plans to relocate to the Grand Park District.
Very excited to be, the first announcement in this new project, and can't wait to put a shovel in the ground.
A deal viewed as a catalyst for a master plan that includes development of a 10,000-seat stadium, hotel, and mixed-use development there. Meantime, downtown Westfield is a construction zone, as more than $250 million in mixed-use development are coming to life. Ambrose on Main, Park and Poplar, and Jersey 32 among projects underway in just the past 2 years. That's in addition to the Union, an $80 million residential and retail development, and H Steakhouse, part of a growing restaurant row. And joining me now with perspective on growth and momentum in Westfield is Westfield Mayor Scott Willis. And Mayor, thanks for taking the time to join us in what will be around the center of the new city of Westfield, I think, in many respects. We'll talk about that, but first the LIV Tour, Colts Camp just wrapping up as well. What does that visibility do for, I guess, the brand of Westfield?
That's right. Well, Colts brings a regional or a national brand to Westfield with the NFL being in town. LIV takes it to a whole nother extreme, and we've got the eyes of the international community on our city for a 3-day weekend. And this is press and media coverage that you can't pay for in a city like Westfield. So we're super excited about what this means for the ID and the brand of our city.
What does that increased profile? Because certainly Grand Park with the youth sports, but also professional sports at Grand Park. What has that brought in terms of economic development, just interest overall in investment here?
Yeah, so a lot of what you're seeing happening around Grand Park and on the State Road 32 corridor is a reflection of Grand Park. Restaurants, hotels, shops. We need more of that for our residents, but it certainly has been a driver around the Grand Park area. And not to mention, like, you go anywhere outside of Indiana and you see a kid with a ball and you say, you ever been to Grand Park? And everybody knows about Grand Park.
As you look downtown, because I think now with Grand Junction that came on board several years ago, now development beginning to pop up around it, from Jersey 32 to Park and Poplar, Ambrose on Main. Talk about the investment here and what the vision is downtown.
Yeah, so when you look at the other cities in Hamilton County, Noblesville, Fishers, Carmel, they've seen an escalation of population growth in their downtown areas. We've actually seen a decline over the last 10 years. So when I became mayor, I really wanted to focus on creating a livable, walkable destination in our downtown area. So we're spending a lot of time and energy here. Those projects you just mentioned are the starting point of that, all projects that have been approved here in the last few years. But we've got more coming. We're getting ready to unveil, probably the next 30 days, a new vision for the entire downtown area that's going to go all the way east to Cary Road and south a mile and north a mile. So it's going to really be a new vision for a walkable, livable downtown area.
What is the key to all of this happening?
The city being willing to bring skin to the game. In the past, we weren't willing to pay for structured parking and infrastructure that lures in those types of development. You need density in your downtown area. You need that walkability, and the city has to bring resources to pull that off, and we're certainly doing that right now.
As you look at Westfield, a lot of growth happening now, certainly, but as you look at what Westfield will be in, say, 10 years, how do you envision the city?
Well, if the population growth continues on the trend line we're on right now, we're going to be north of 100,000 people. We have more land mass than Carmel does, and Carmel's north of 105. So we really expect, unless something changes in the economy that might bring growth to a halt, we fully expect that we're going to be one of the larger cities in Hamilton County.
Westfield Mayor Scott Willis, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you for being here.
All right. Well, when we come back, I'll be in studio with details on a Hoosier nonprofit bringing a new job training program to the state's largest pediatric healthcare system.
What bin location?
1B, 1E.
1B, 1E, so highlight that.
Details on the Arc of Indiana's latest effort to help Hoosiers with disabilities find employment. That's next in the Business of Health.
We're learning a lot of new tests right now, not just returns, but also how to backfill the warehouse, how to check for expiration dates and get rid of products that are expired, putting that in the system correctly.
Hoosiers with disabilities are learning critical job skills at Wiley Hospital for Children, where a new training program is underway. Well, finding work can be difficult for these individuals, but the Arc of Indiana continues to help more hear the words, "You're hired." Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta here now with more. Kylie.
Thank you, Gary. The Arc of Indiana serves Hoosiers with intellectual and developmental disabilities and created the Erskine Green Training Institute, or EGTI, nearly 10 years ago to prepare its clients for the working world. Until this year, EGTI existed only in Muncie, but now it's expanded to Indianapolis to help more people with disabilities get their first gig.
I feel confident in my abilities at work. I feel confident every single day.
Connor Tedford is starting another workday at Riley, where he helps manage the inventory of medical supplies for surgeries.
My favorite thing is getting to take care of the operating rooms, so I take care of 3 rooms, OR 1, 2, and 3.
Connor is a recent graduate of EGTI, a $500,000 grant from the IU Health Community Impact Investment Fund launched the program at Riley earlier this year. But its purpose is bigger than just landing a job.
We talk a lot about, in our world, the good life. And when you think about what your good life is, a lot of it is tied to whether or not you're employed or not.
But finding a job isn't easy. Only 19% of people with disabilities are employed. But for EGTI graduates, 8 out of 10 find a job and keep it. Chad and Macy will likely be the next success stories.
Probably nervous and excited about it.
And this one match right here.
They started training just a few weeks ago.
When I first started here, I had no clue what I was doing, and right now it's getting a bit better.
In the past decade, EGTI has graduated 353 students with 80% finding jobs. Based on that success in Muncie, the program expanded to Indianapolis earlier this year.
What bin location?
1B1E.
1B1E, so highlight that.
While Riley is the training ground, there aren't always job openings here, so EGTI teaches students lessons they can take to any workplace.
A big purpose in EGTI is to build skills, to develop skills, to create a better foundation. So when our students leave our program and go find employment, that they have skills that can be generalized to other environments and other jobs.
And that's where companies come in. IU Health has hired 37 graduates.
But IU Health's just one employer. We need other employers who have job opportunities that fit the skill set that our students are living with. So more employers willing to hire our students creates more employment opportunities for our graduates.
And compared to traditional employees, companies also see less turnover among EGTI graduates.
I enjoy it every single day. I love it. All the people I work with are amazing.
Found it.
Awesome. Nice job.
Building careers and confidence.
Kind of more independence. So just getting my own money, covering for my own self. People are very nice here, and if other people want to also join this program, I would recommend it.
And the program at Riley also trains students in housekeeping and food service. Warsaw-based OrthoPediatrics is expanding across the U.S. and for the first time internationally. The company says its new operation in Ireland could open the door for expansion across Europe. And back in the U.S., the Los Angeles area will be home to its newest clinic for specialty bracing, which makes braces for kids as an alternative to surgery. The growth spurt includes expansions in Ohio, Colorado, and New York.
Back to the Arc of Indiana and the Erskine Green Institute. They do such amazing work. There are other, I know, big employers who are connected to the program.
That's right. So the Riley program is only one of two. They have the exact same program underway at Allison Transmission, where the students are involved in the sub-assembly process. And this is such an important program. There's so few in Indiana that do vocational training for people with disabilities. They say it fills such a need, and they need more employers to be willing to hire those
Making
students.
a real impact. Great story.
Yep.
Thanks, Kylie.
Here's what's making news around Indiana. Brought to you by the Indiana Association of Realtors. Indiana's 21,000 realtors. The neighbors you know, the experts you can count on.
And we begin this week in Dearborn County, where Whitewater Processing LLC has broken ground on a $28.5 million food processing facility. It's expected to bring about 130 jobs to the area with a higher than average hourly wage. There are also plans to add a deli and butcher shop on site for the community. It's expected to open by the end of next year. Sweden-based Trio World Group is preparing to open a manufacturing facility in Brownsburg. The company makes high-performance flexible films that are used for packaging. The plant expected to eventually double the company's North American production capacity. Trio World Group says the new space will mean about 33 new jobs. Well, after years of planning, work is officially underway on a new youth sports complex in Allen County near I-469. The New Haven district will feature a field house with basketball and volleyball courts, as well as turf fields.
Everything from soccer to lacrosse to rugby to football to indoor baseball. Anything you can think of on turf, we're going to be able to offer here. Not only is it a great community asset for everyone here in New Haven, but we look to bring close to 1.2 million visitors every single year to the facility.
A retail space and a Parkview Health orthopedic outpatient facility, also part of that $31 million project. The Fieldhouse hopes to start hosting tournaments next September. Well, a popular country music bar on Indianapolis's near South Side is turning down the volume and closing later this year. Duke's Honky Tonk cited needed renovations and increased competition as factors for the decision. It opened in 2018 and became a destination for traditional country music artists and fans. The last verse and final plate of their famous fried chicken will be served at the end of November. Coming up next, Indiana, known as a sports capital, and a new graduate degree program is designed to fuel the sports industry's talent pipeline in the Hoosier State.
Behind every unforgettable moment, there's a strategy. decisive action. And a team prepared
to help build the next generation of industry pros. That's next.
Sport evolves at the intersection of passion and precision.
Time now for our Eye on Education, brought to you by PNC Bank.
Well, Ivy Tech South Bend Elkhart is the latest campus to expand its cybersecurity education offerings, partnering with Switzerland-based CyberPro AI to provide hands-on experience with cyber attack simulators that mimic real-life threats. Local leaders say more than 100 new cybersecurity workers are needed each year. The company has partnerships with 2 other Ivy Tech campuses in Northwest Indiana. Well, the summer heat and winter snow won't be a problem for some student athletes in Northeast Indiana. Trine University unveiling plans to build a $6 million inflatable dome that will be home to training, practice, and competition for multiple athletic teams. Trine has captured 3 NCAA Division III team championships in the last 2 years.
We invest in our student success to include our student athletes' success, which is what's going to happen out here, and give us an opportunity to play and practice when the weather's bad in our outdoor sports.
Football stadium renovations are also currently underway at Trine. The dome expected to open in the spring. Well, between this weekend's LIV Golf Tournament, next year's NCAA Men's Final Four, and other events, the demand for talent to fuel the sports talent pipeline is growing. Later this month, Purdue University will launch a new sports management graduate degree program. Purdue partnering with multiple organizations, including the Indiana Sports Corporation, for research and job shadowing opportunities. Coursework will focus on several areas, including analytics, venue management, and marketing. Gene Boyd, who spent over a decade as director for the NCAA men's basketball tournament, is leading that program.
Sport, regardless of what level, today is markedly different than it was just a short 5 years ago. So you take into consideration what Purdue's good at, plus the ever-changing position. I think it made it a perfect opportunity to create something that, again, is innovative and forward-thinking and kind of malleable as the environment continues to change.
The 2-year program will feature classes in both West Lafayette and Indianapolis. Well, sports tourism continues to be an economic driver all over the state, with several new facilities opening just over the past 2 years. The Indiana Destination Development Corporation joins us with perspective and new numbers when we come back.
I'm a big fan of Pete Dye. For me, he's been my favorite modern architect. I love the tricks he plays. He's big on his optical illusions. You'll see a lot of them this week. Bunkers that, look like they're close together and not. They're staggered. There's a lot of room out there. He loves to kind of create a tension on a tee shot. All the way through his career, he's designed incredible golf courses, and this one's fascinating.
LIV golfer Paul Casey with some high praise for legendary course designer Pete Dye in the club at Chatham Hills, which is the final course that Pete actually got in the dirt and was hands-on in designing in the layout in his iconic career. Well, we began our show this week at Chatham Hills with a look at how Westfield is leveraging events like LIV Golf to become one of Indiana's fastest-growing cities. Westfield, though not alone, communities large and small around the state are getting into the sports tourism game. And here now with more on the growing sports movement in the state, pleased to be joined, as always, by Indiana Destination Development Corporation Interim CEO Amy Howell. And Amy, great to see you.
Good to see you.
As you look at Westfield, we were there earlier in the week. A lot of activity, a lot of excitement around LIV Golf. What does that mean in terms of there's economic impact, but also exposure?
Absolutely. I mean, it's putting global golf on the map for Indiana. This is a huge tournament. Westfield's going to be bringing in big bucks economically. Visitor attraction, of course, what we like to see. But, it's about bringing people into Indiana, get them to experience things, get them to eat at our restaurants. Maybe they'll come back, go to school. Maybe they'll live here, grow our population and our workforce as well.
Yeah, which is a big goal. I know. Talk about Pete Dye. I know there's a Pete Dye Trail that was established a few years ago that you're promoting to get more people into the state.
Absolutely. Golf is big business, more than 20 million in the state of Indiana alone. Brickyard, one of a kind. Nobody has, let alone a Pete Dye golf course inside a track and IMS to boot. French Lick, the Pete Dye course at French Lick, beautiful on the rolling hills. I mean, you two at Purdue, you know, they're fantastic. They're every golfer's dream because they're so hard. And he created, I mean, the one at French Lick, he wrote down his sketches on a napkin. I mean, it's amazing.
Very cool. Sports tourism, as mentioned in the open here, very big, a growing segment of the economy for Indiana. As you look at that, communities large and small, in Mishawaka, a new field house has been built up there. Closer to home, Noblesville, the Arena Innovation Mile. How big is that industry in terms of sports in Indiana?
It's big and it's growing. Sports Corp said $190 million last year in sports tourism alone, economic impact. So these communities, they're getting on the right bandwagon because if you have kids that play travel ball, you're driving 50 plus miles to go to any kind of event, whether it's softball, you know, whether it's baseball, whatever it is. It's big businesses for those cities, the hotel rooms, the restaurants, everything that goes into an event.
And these cities, again, large and small, smaller communities as well, obviously see potential there because they're investing in these arenas and field houses and places for folks to play.
Absolutely. So Indiana Sports Corp has a bid fund that's through the legislature, $2 million per year. And so they can say, hey, I want the LIV tournament to come to my city and here's what I can have to offer for it. And they can go request grant dollars for that. So
and that is probably really gets to the heart of the competitive nature of this. Indiana and these communities are competing not just in the state, but they're competing all over the country with other communities. Right?
Absolutely. And that's why it's a big deal that LIV's coming to Westfield because it's an international event. We're not just talking, you know, our neighbors from Ohio to see us, but visitors internationally. And like I said, that attraction piece of it, that's what the Office of Commerce is trying to do is get people to see the gems that Indiana has to offer.
Big business getting bigger as well. Amy Howell, Indiana Destination Development Corporation. Great to see you as always.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Indiana Business. We leave you this week where we started at the club at Chatham Hills in Westfield and the LIV Golf Tour. Thanks for joining us. I'm Gerry Dick. Go out and make it a successful week.
What happens when a basketball superstar changes the course of an entire city? I'm Mickey Shuey, and in Beyond Clarkonomics, we tell the story of how Caitlin Clark's arrival to the Indiana Fever sparked more than just sold-out arenas. It's rewriting Indianapolis's long-term strategy for sports, downtown growth, and women's leadership. Listen at ibjpodcast.com or on your favorite podcast app.
On the go? So are we. Get the IBJ Media app, your all-in-one news source for Indiana business news. Get breaking news alerts, read every story from IBJ, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Lawyer, and listen to your favorite podcasts all in one place. Big news, small screen. Search IBJ Media and download the app today.